Hello everyone, welcome to the session. In this session, we are going to discuss about how to send data from Logstash to AWS SQS. So let's begin our session. First, we will see Logstash pipeline, how it would look like. So we will have one CSV file. It would be read by the file beat. Then file beat would send the data or CSV event to Logstash. Then Logstash will send the data or output to console, Logstash console, and also will send to SQS, AWS SQS. So our pipeline would look like this. To send the data from Logstash to SQS, we would use the SQS output plugin. Now let's see the configuration. This is the CSV file we will use. We will send this data to SQS, and this is the file beat configuration. So this file beat will read the CSV data present in this file and would send the data to Logstash on this port. This is the configuration we already discussed multiple times in previous videos. File beat would send the data to Logstash. Now let's see the Logstash configuration. So this is the Logstash configuration. Logstash would get the data from CSV. It is running on this. And here the filter or processing configuration. This is the filter stage. So here we are using the mutate filter to remove few fields from the event which we do not use. And then this is the CSV filter. This would parse the CSV data which FileBeat would send to Logstash. Then the Logstash will send the data to output component, to the standard output, that is console, Logstash console, and the SQS, AWS SQS. So to access the SQS, we need the access key and the secret key. Then we have a region. A region is basically where our SQS would be created. Then the name of the queue, SQS queue. Then the codec. Codec is used to format the data before it goes to the SQS. This output plugin will format the data into JSON form. Then it would transfer to the, or it would send it to the SQS. Now let's see the AWS configuration. First you need to log in the AWS website, which I already did. You can see I am logged in with my account, and now you need to search the SQS here. Click on this simple queue service. So it has listed down all the queues present in my account. So you can see one queue is present, which I already created for the demo, and this queue name is being used in the Logstash configuration file here. So here we are using that queue name. Now let's click on this queue, and we need to check the region of this queue. So to get the region in the ARN, you will see something like this. So this is the region of this queue. This queue created in this region. This region we need to use in the Logstash configuration here. So that region we need to use here. Now let's see where we can see the access key and secret key. Access key and secret key are against the particular IAM user. So here you can see one red icon, IAM. You need to click on this. So we are on the IAM dashboard. In the left navigation, you need to click on users. So it will list down all the IAM user. So whenever we connect with AWS service, any service from any application, whether Logstash or any other application, we should have one IAM user, and we use the access key and secret key related to that IAM user. So here I have already created one IAM user. If you don't have IAM user already created, you can click on add users you can add one IAM user. Since I already created, I am clicking on this, and then you need to add SQS related permission with that user, with this IAM user, so that our application can perform SQS related operation on the queue. So how to add the permission? You can see add permission here. At the moment I have S3 and SNS related permission attached with my IAM user. Now we will add the SQS related permission. So you need to click on add permission, click on add permissions, click on this attach policies directly. Then here you need to search the SQS. So it will list down all the permissions related to SQS. You need to use this Amazon SQS full access. Then click on next and add permissions. Now SQS permission is added with our this user, and here you can see now we have 3 permissions attached with this user. Now how we can download the access key and secret key? So you need to click on the security credentials. Here you can see access keys. I already generated the access key and secret key, so I'm not generating again. But if you want to generate the access key and secret key, you need to click on create access key. Then you need to click on local code, select this, and then next. This is optional, and as soon as you click on create access key, it will generate both these keys, and you have to copy those keys, access key and secret key, and you have to use in your Logstash configuration file. So this is all configuration related to AWS. Now let's start the Logstash server and the FileBeat server to see if our Logstash application is sending the message to SQS or not. Before we start the Logstash and FileBeat server, let's make the CSV file empty. I have launched the bin path of Logstash in the command prompt. Now let's start the Logstash servers with the SQS configuration. So this is the command to start the Logstash server, and you can see this is the configuration file name which we already discussed. So let's press enter, and let's wait for the Logstash server to be up and running. Meanwhile, let's start the FileBeat server also. I have launched the FileBeat path in the command prompt. Now let's start the FileBeat. So this is the command to start the FileBeat, and this is the FileBeat configuration name. Let's press enter. So you can see the FileBeat started successfully. Let's wait for the Logstash also. So the Logstash server is started. You can see this. Now let's add the data in the CSV file. Let's also check the AWS SQS. Let's search SQS. You can see in the available section or column, the count is 0, means there is no message present in the SQS. As soon as we send the message to the SQS, this count would increase. Now let's add the data in our CSV file and see if the Logstash is sending the data to SQS or not. This data I have added. Now let's save this and also monitor the console of Logstash. So you can see there are 3 events because 3 lines are present in the CSV file. So this data would be sent to the SQS. If all these messages or events are sent to the SQS would have 3 messages. There is no error in the console, means message delivered successfully to SQS. Now let's see the SQS. Let's refresh. You can see the count is 3, means the Logstash delivered 3 messages to SQS successfully. So the integration of Logstash and AWS SQS is working fine. Now we can read these 3 messages. So for that you need to click on the SQS, and here you can see send and receive messages. You need to click on this and you need to scroll down, and here there is a section receive messages. So the available messages are 3. There is an option to poll for messages. As soon as you poll the message, AWS will get the message from the SQS and will display here. So let's click on the poll for messages. Yeah, you can see all three messages has been retrieved from the SQS and it is being shown here. Now if we click on particular this link, we will see the value of that message. So you can see this is the exact value which we have sent from the Logstash. If we compare this with the event, we would find both messages same. And you can see this is in the form of JSON because we are using JSON in the codec. Codec is JSON. So the SQS will have the message format in JSON. So this is how we can check the message delivered to the SQS. That's all for this session. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.